Hello and welcome to the podcast. Podcast number 4 now. We should sleep more. You should sleep more. But here we are, as always. I am your host, Lion, with my co-host, Skull.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And my co-host, Optic Sergio.
What's up, guys? Optic Sergio in the house. Back at it again.
You can tell which one of the three of us drinks the most coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love coffee.
I just stay awake on pure spite. But Optic uses coffee. Lion, I'm not sure what you use.
Look, you go to my car right now. I have a thermal and I have a McDonald's coffee.
I have some unreal, just something pushing me forward.
Hope and desire.
Hope and desire, sure, let's say that.
Speaking of hopes and desires, this week's episode is brought to you by the Cyber BBL, affordable lifts for your meaty body.
I'm really excited that we actually have our first sponsor now.
I know, right? It's great.
Yeah, can't wait till
We'll know more about that later.
We'll talk about that later, yes. Anyway, on with our topic for today.
Alright, so today's topic is going to be a little bit more personal, less about going through a list or whatever. We're going to talk about our college experience.
Or just school in general.
I don't have much to say about school before college, but we can add some of that in.
Whatever our entertaining or worst or best moments
We'll
were.
get some of that.
And I feel like I've been there forever.
It's
I bet you do. You do.
been in school for a pretty long time. We got a ton of experiences. Like, what would we even start off on?
I feel like we should start off on telling a little bit about just what our school history has been.
Yeah.
Like, we all went to the same high school.
Yeah.
Graduated there pretty well, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
We went to different colleges / university. I went to college for 2 years, transferred to a university for 3 years, graduated with a 4-year degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to college for I went right after high school, I went a year
To college.
to college.
Community college.
Then right after, I had a terrible year.
Mm-hmm.
Then I didn't go for another year and a half. Then I went back for another 3-4 years.
It felt like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I finally transferred to university. I've been there for 3 years. This is my 3rd year. We'll be graduating this year, so.
Nice.
Okay.
And big mistake. I went straight into a university
Right.
after high school, and it went well for the first year. Then second year was started getting problematic, just with the whole financial aid and loans and whatever. And after that second year, I dropped out. Said I was dropping out for a while, but ended up being a lot longer than that. And by a lot longer, I mean I just haven't gone back.
I feel okay, you say you started off good your first year.
Mm-hmm.
I started off bad, but I just feel like I started off bad because I wasn't really prepared.
Okay, that's a good segue to get into what our expectations for this was.
Expectation versus reality of what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first off, I guess I'll go first with that. I guess my expectation, I had a real hard time thinking about what it would be like.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it would be what it felt like going into it was that, I gotta stay on top of a lot of figuring out how to make things work, how to research how to apply, how to set up classes, what I would need. It was a real time intensive thing for me in general.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of stressful too. But I just took to it like a job basically, which again, time intensive and stressful.
Yeah.
And once I started to actually go there, it felt way more casual, honestly. After a while, you get into a rhythm, you figure out that it's basically just and this is true for life, just get your shit done.
Yeah.
And I embraced that pretty well.
Totally relatable, because I feel my going into college was exactly the same, where you stress out of getting your classes, attending all the meetings right before, all the orientations and all this stuff, which was very stressful, which I didn't finish all of them before the summer.
Right.
So I struggled already there.
Right.
I didn't I enrolled kind of late, and then when it was my time to schedule classes, they just gave me a list of classes I need to take,
Right.
and they just told me pick something out of there,
Right.
and I was like, and I just picked whatever I thought was the easiest.
So I went I tried to be prepared somewhere in ahead because I scheduled time with a counselor. I toured the school, not toured, but I went there and I looked around for a bit. I did that kind of stuff.
See, I did pretty much all the same thing, stressing about finding classes and everything. I didn't do any I guess pre-preparation like you did, whatever with the counselors and everything like that.
I did that when I transferred over to university because I already was informed and I already had the knowledge
point
for
you
it.
got it.
Yeah, so I knew that and how to stay on top of my game.
Well, that's already that, but I feel like it took me after my first year of being there to find out that my counselor was just a shitty counselor.
They're all pretty bad.
No, I feel like I got some good ones. I'm happy with one.
My advisor is what keeps me on top of my game, not my counselor.
Oh, wait, advisor?
Yeah, I have a math advisor.
Oh, okay. We'll get into that in a bit. But no, I had some pretty good counselors where I went. Are we gonna say where we went?
I mean, we're LA area. Just imagine any.
I honestly wouldn't mind shouting out the college at least because it was a very good experience.
All right,
there.
shout it out.
It was Long Beach City College.
Shout out to Long
Community
Beach
college?
City College. Let's get it.
Yeah, honestly, great place to go to school. The people there are nice. The teachers are mostly pretty good. The counselor's good. It just, it works.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You
at
know,
all.
I'm very happy with the university I chose
Nice.
because, like I said, I have an
I'm
advisor.
less happy with it overall.
My advisor,
college.
keeps me on top of my game.
Nice.
She checks up on me twice a semester, making sure I'm completing my classes, I'm on task, and for my next semester, she already has my schedule prepared.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's why I'm proud of that school.
And see, my college advisor always advised me to check in at least twice a semester.
She does it for me. She checks up on me.
Okay. And I did that for at least the first year. Then I kind of stopped for a while until I transferred.
See, I felt like going straight into and so
You
many
went straight to university.
Yeah, going straight
Less
into
prepared.
university, was the worst because I feel like so many people are pressured to go straight into university. You have to get into a university. Even most likely counselors in high school, they obviously they want you to get into college, but more than likely they want you to go straight into a university.
Right.
See, I feel like that's where high school tricks you.
Exactly. I feel like
that was more the teachers, because the counselors I spoke to didn't really go too hard into that, but some teachers did.
Some teachers did,
especially the ones that would teach AP classes.
Yeah, and then there was some other, but there was definitely a lot of the counselors that would be that way as well, depending on the kind of student you are. The problem is that when I was in high school, my grades were really high.
Yeah, I had
for
the same problem
most
too.
of high school.
We all had pretty good grades in.
You know who
high
I
school?
disappointed a lot?
I mean, yeah, true.
We had the same counselor, me and you, right?
Yeah.
We had Mr. Corona.
Mm-hmm.
I disappointed him so bad when I told him I didn't want to go to college.
He was also my counselor.
Oh,
really?
He was so mad. He was all like, "No, you have this good grades and look at all the classes you're taking."
I don't think I ever talked to him about what I was gonna do after high school.
Yeah, cause I had to talk to him because I wanted to take not only home, but I wanted to take also what is it, TA or what do you call it?
Teachers.
Service, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to take both. He's like, "No, you already have home. You already have service."
I only took one of them, so he didn't get on me too much about it.
You have to take Spanish and this and that to get it to a university, because you can get into all these universities. I'm like, I don't even want to go to university.
That's what happened to me.
Really?
I wanted to get home for my second semester in senior year, and he started looking through my credit. Yeah, he started looking through my credits and whatever. This was the end of the first semester, and I was saying oh, well, I want home. I don't want a fifth period, whatever. And he was like, oh, why don't you want to take it? Because I was replacing trigonometry, and I failed it the first year that I had it because the teacher that I had was just so difficult. Even one of our friends, such a smart guy, he had the highest grade in that class, and it was just a C+.
You know, me and Cole took trigonometry together.
Yep, we did.
We successfully passed it together.
Oh yeah, got A's.
We both did, yeah.
I wish I had a different teacher.
I mean, our teacher wasn't great either.
You know, she adored Ivan. Like,
That is not true.
other than that, like, she adored you.
Okay.
So, like,
She liked you too.
Regardless,
didn't.
I feel
she liked me
like
after when I had her service.
Okay.
I feel like she had a much better way of actually teaching things than the one that I had.
Let's say that. I'm not sure about that.
Well,
Anyway.
having, because I know who you're talking about, and I had her for algebra too,
Oh, okay.
and the way she taught things, it was just completely straightforward.
Sure.
No, nothing extra to it. While this other teacher that I had was very about color coding and specifics, and I don't know what the hell else he wanted, and he kept saying that it was extra to be color coding, but I don't think I believe that.
You know, being a mathematician myself, that's just fucking bullshit. We don't color
He's not
code.
lying either.
We don't
He is.
color.
Yeah,
we don't
he
color
is.
code anything.
Yeah, I thought that was bullshit. Like,
Anyway.
so
I don't think it helps either. I think it just makes things more confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I really do feel it makes it more confusing as well.
Anyway, where were we? Get back on track.
Just counselor.
Right. So your experience with a counselor.
Same
negative.
exact experience like optic.
No, but I mean back in college.
Oh,
So you
well.
went straight into a university because of counselors motivating you.
Well, I was on the point.
Did I just
of-
never talk to our counselor?
I was on the point of saying how they want us to get into a university straight off.
Then why did I never have that experience?
You probably didn't bother to go talk to him.
I guess not. I was probably absent that
He would
day.
constantly call me up to go to his office, and I used to hate it.
Then why did he just not like me?
Didn't he offer to pay for your cap and gown?
Yeah,
Don't,
he
don't lie.
did.
Don't lie. He liked you.
He
Don't
did.
lie. Don't
I
lie.
was right there when he was telling you, and
Don't
you
You're
lie.
both right there. Yes.
He liked you. Don't
Oh,
lie.
should we just explain that story?
It was just you didn't even go to the graduation.
I did not go to our high school graduation. it was during the middle of the day in summer. You were out in the heat all day. You didn't even get to sit next to each other. You had to sit with your assigned group. Why would I go?
You know, I honestly, whatever. I feel I went to university more so over the pressure of actually doing something
Right.
with my life, which wasn't necessarily the pressure coming from myself, but from my family,
Okay.
of pressuring me and pushing me constantly, even when I was stuck,
True.
which was just not great, really.
No, it was not great.
Because
you should go because you yourself decide to go.
Exactly. Like, I knew I wanted to go, but just being forced into this position was kind of like, well, I'm just going through with it.
Yeah, it's also kind of interesting that all three of us knew each other at this time.
Yeah.
We kind of didn't share like how we handled things differently.
You know,
I'm sure at some point I told you guys like, shouldn't you guys like double check on this and prepare or something?
you see, I
No.
think.
Did I never?
No,
I feel
we just
like
didn't.
people
We
would
did.
tell me things, but I was just kind of into like I don't want to go to college anymore.
Okay.
I just wanted like, oh, I'm just gonna finish my first year.
Okay.
Like that was my mentality.
At
Just
that
gonna-
point, what does the first year even count for?
I don't know. But that's where my expectations are very different.
Sure.
My expectations going into college was like it's gonna be like high school.
Hmm?
They gave me that list and I'm like I can knock all of these down in like maybe in a year, since you know we were doing 6 classes in high school.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, 4 is like a little bit.
Yeah, it should. It
So I'm like, I could take like 5.
you definitely think that. Okay.
I'm like, I'll
You
take
took
5.
5 the first time?
I think first semester I took 5 and then
Really?
second I took 4.
I took 3 the first one and then 4 the next one.
And after that I just took like 2.
I took it easy in the first one. You know, gotta put your big toe in the water first.
You know, I
Before you dive
never
in. Roll up. Remember to roll up your jeans before you put your foot in the water.
so like
Uh-huh.
me going
I'll
I
talk about that some other time.
Yeah.
I never expected that like you were expected to do things on your own.
Okay, you didn't expect that.
No, because
You're
you're always
what I mostly expected.
you're always guided. In high
Yeah.
school, you were always guided to do things. We're like
Yeah, I mean, it's
now-
pretty much automated for you.
now-
anyway.
yeah,
Like they set up your classes.
Exactly for
they
you.
For you.
So now you gotta do it yourself.
Yeah.
And
that was a big change.
That's the big thing. And not only your homework, it's like it's not really collected, but you're expected to do it.
You're expected to do it, and they tell you when that's collected.
No, but most of my teachers never collected the homework.
Okay.
They're just here's the homework since it wasn't collected.
You're expected to study.
I never did it.
You're expected to study and learn on your own
on your
time.
own.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So that's something different.
Yeah, it's
for
very
me.
different. That is very
That you have to
different.
kind of get used to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I never expected none of that.
Did you ever study like in high school on your own time,
Not really.
like review and stuff like that?
Rarely.
Because I did.
I know you.
Interesting.
We were reviewing class together.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yes, but I
But never
would
on our free
occasionally
time.
study in my free time too. I would give like an hour or two
Wow.
on my free time to study.
I did not know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I assume you never study, right, Lion?
Not really. No.
Okay.
I would do my homework.
Yeah.
But
I would see. Sometimes I wouldn't do my homework,
I would always do my homework.
but like especially before tests, I would give like maybe like the month or two before a test, or like a month probably. I
Mhm.
would like dedicate like an hour to studying a day, at least a subject.
Wow.
Especially like the hard ones for me, like math or something like that,
Interesting.
science, stuff like that.
Huh. Did not know that about you. Kind of surprising, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I had good grades. How do you think I got that?
I mean, I had good grades, but I didn't do that.
Hmm.
Yeah, just kind of like whatever I knew. But that was different for me. Like
You know what? When I kind of did, I think I did the most studying was when those like standardized tests at the end of every year,
Oh.
and I think that's why I did be able to place pretty highly.
Mhm.
'Cause those made up for a lot of stuff.
I guess so. I always place really high on those as well.
Okay.
surprising I did too. And I wouldn't even try.
We're
Okay.
just smart.
That's good. That's good.
Surprising I wouldn't even try. No, just like
And not that we're not smart nowadays as well, you know.
Debatable at this point, I feel like.
Yeah, we're kind of
To be
stupid
fair,
sometimes.
Yeah, to be fair, it's not as easy to measure that anymore. When you're an adult, it's not easy to measure that
Yeah,
because
'cause
no
we-
one's giving you a test.
Been out of school for so long at this
Mhm.
point, so it makes
Anyway.
sense.
So it's fair to say our expectations. I feel like mine were close, but also not as bad as I was expecting. Optic, what would you say?
they were terrible.
Okay,
I think that's why it led to my dropout.
right.
Your
right.
expectations were terrible.
Yeah,
Or like terribly wrong at least.
terribly wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
My expectations were just
You didn't know what to expect, and it hit
I
you pretty bad.
just didn't know what to expect. Like I said, my first year went fine.
Mm.
I kind of mainly just focused on like just go through the day, do my work,
Right.
learn what I have to learn. I don't mind learning things. I like learning things.
Right.
And yeah, first year went well. So my expectations were just like normal,
Okay.
just like
You
everyday
know,
school.
You'll take it as it comes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how you take life now,
Yeah.
anyway.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so Lion said what he was gonna study. Optic, you didn't say what you were gonna study,
Yeah.
See,
and I'll say my
Well,
next.
well, I'm currently studying.
What you're
It's
currently
always
studying.
it's always been the same thing from
It's
the
al-
beginning.
It's always been the same thing since we were in middle school,
Yeah.
honestly.
Okay,
Mhm.
it has never changed. It's math ed, right? I'm trying to be a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's from secondary school, right? Basically high school and middle school,
Mm-hmm.
and potentially even college. But I really want to focus on high school.
Okay. So that's what you're gonna be once you graduate. That's what
Yeah.
you're studying towards.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
soon.
Very
Very
soon.
Mhm.
That we'll probably get to another podcast episode when that happens.
That'll be a celebration.
Yeah,
That
it will be. It will
Uh-huh.
be. Anyway, so what I studied, I guess I went into it thinking general business. Like I didn't have too much of an idea where to go with it. When I went to university, I picked like a concentration which was finance. So my degree is in business management with a concentration in finance. And now I just have an office job where I do business management stuff.
I mean, that's pretty solid.
So he
Yeah.
made it.
Pretty much, yeah.
He made it.
Like you're kind of you're the one out of the three of us that actually just went through completely with no stops in between.
Well, I had a 4-year degree in 5 years.
I mean-
the reason for that was because my grant money didn't cover for winter and summer semesters for university. They covered all 4 semesters in college, but they only covered 2 semesters for university.
Oh, so I mean,
So pretty much just covered those, and then I had to pay for like the last 2 semesters.
yeah, so not too big
Not
of
too
an
bad.
issue, really.
Not really, no.
Yeah,
Again, just take an extra year. It's not too bad.
yeah. Because for me, after my like second year,
Mm-hmm.
trying to go into my third year because of I ended up failing trig twice. First teacher that I had for trig.
Why didn't you help?
You say he never asked. I told him.
I feel like we were just not. How would I say?
It was a busy time for us.
Yeah.
We kind of reconnected a little more after that.
But first teacher I had was just fast, like just one of those teachers that's just going at it, and like just those. Extremely fast paced, and I just got lost at one point, and
never really caught back up.
You get lost in math once, and that's kind of the end right there.
Optic, is that accurate?
It's true.
You can't miss.
It's hard to progress once you're already lost.
Right, because it all builds on each other.
Yeah.
It builds on the last thing and so on.
Especially with a teacher going so fast like that, it was just a lot.
I mean, that's why math really depends on you actually putting free time to studying.
Yeah.
You know, like, math is that kind of subject where, like, you have to put a lot of effort into it. And it's like, you just can't, like, blink too much.
Yeah. You can't let it pass you by.
Yeah, not really.
Like history, you can always just be like, next 100 years, I'll get it down better. Math is like, no.
Yeah. Second one I got, the teacher was like really slow. Really slow, and got distracted.
They're either too fast or too slow for you.
Yeah, like really slow, which, you know, in theory would sound great, but it was just slow to the point where
he only got like one example a day or something.
Yeah, like it's just way too slow, and then he would go.
Depends on you putting in the time to study.
Yeah, and
like when I was taking calculus, I think our teacher required us 30 hours of our free time on studying. So she'll start the concept, but she'll expect us to finish it and do the homework on our own.
See, that's why you should have taken calculus in high school, like me.
I dropped it. So.
Then I got business calculus in college. Way easier. Then cut out all that messy stuff that scientists use. Boo.
I tried to take all the way to Cal 3.
I just used the business part of calculus, which is way easier. I can do that like nothing.
I feel like the thing that really brought me down during like my second year of university was just overall stress.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing to this. Did you guys expect how much more stress it would be than normal high school?
See, I'm not talking about just stress at school. The problem is I had double down stress both at school and home. I feel like that's a part you can think about.
Something that also, like, I think we don't expect is now we gotta pay for bills. Our parents are like this. I don't know why. As soon as we turn 18, you're expected to have a job, to go to school, to pay for this, pay for that. Like little things, like they have so much expectations as soon as you turn 18. It's like, how?
Yeah, funny. I like how I always say funny for everything, but I just say it anyway. Funny thing is like, the entirety almost of my life, probably since I was about 4 years old, I had been expected to excel in absolutely everything. And as you can imagine, that is extremely exhausting when you're not actually able to reach that expectation at a certain point. I definitely was able to reach that expectation for probably until halfway through middle school, and then it started getting a little more difficult for me to actually keep up that straight A expectation.
Especially when you're being compared to your brothers.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Another thing, wouldn't really matter because, like, Lion, you have 3 siblings.
Yep.
All older than you.
Yep.
Optic, you have
a twin and an older sister.
A twin and an older sister. And an older sister also went to college and that stuff, right?
Yeah, but she was a failure in college.
Okay.
So then it was up to me to take over.
Solid. And I was an only child. So, moral of the story, only have one kid and he'll turn out better.
Well,
that's just what we're seeing here, guys.
Never know about that one.
Statistics here. Alright, so overall expectations, I mean, I guess we can move into what the aftermath of that was. We've kind of been talking about that the whole time.
Well, yeah, we've been talking about the aftermath a little bit.
Yeah, so, I mean, I just afterwards, which one just small in between bullshit was the fact that I lost my financial aid,
Right.
which I should not have actually lost it, because when the previous counselor that I had, he ended up messing something up, and he ended up not putting in one of the classes that I took, the credits that I got from it, and that's what made me lose my financial aid. And coming into the next semester, and I had a new counselor now, just for whatever reason they changed me counselor, or I just ended up having a different one. I don't know why. I think I
So
might have said something about it.
In the university you went to, you were assigned a counselor, and that was your counselor?
Yeah, that was my
I was not
counselor.
assigned a counselor in university either, or my
Okay.
college.
Okay, yeah. Because in college, it was like there are counselors,
Mhm.
and you just set up an appointment with one of them, and they'll help you give your thing, and they'll make additions to your file,
Yeah.
and your file will be like what they go off of.
Yeah, I
So
just
it's like you don't just have one counselor that handles everything for you.
I just had the same one every time.
See, that's why I like my university. I have an
Yeah.
advisor, which is basically my counselor,
Okay, yeah.
and she
Yeah.
checks up on me twice a semester.
Alright. Okay, and she was assigned to you, or did you?
She
pick
was
her?
assigned to me.
Okay, I've never had any counselor or advisor assigned to me.
Yeah, she was assigned to me like the first day I got there.
Yeah.
I mean, I
And
guess
she's part of the math department, and she's also my teacher.
Right.
Like, she's not only my advisor, she's my teacher as well. So like,
Mhm.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know her, so like, not only in
Right.
class, but as an advisor.
Okay. So yeah, that's way more hands-on. Mine was totally hands-off,
Mhm.
and like Lions, yours was kind of in the middle.
I guess so.
I guess apparently
But, like,
from what we're seeing.
Yeah, I just had the same one the whole time for whatever reason.
I guess that's another thing. Besides parents, the school expects you to keep yourself on track of everything.
Yeah.
Like how the
Yeah.
system work, how you're doing, credits, units, requirements, applications, all of that. Like you gotta start handling that yourself.
Like, yeah, like to apply to transfer, like you have to tell yourself when you're ready,
Mm-hmm. And you gotta make sure to do it
and then
on
you
time,
just check up
ahead
on the
of
counselor.
time.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
check up with the counselor, then they set you up with I don't know who, and then they start filing your things, and then it's like, okay.
Oh, I had to file my own thing.
Yeah, I had to file
to
my own thing,
transfer.
but I had to confirm it with other people.
Oh, I don't think I had to do
I
that.
don't remember, like I had to go to the transfer center, I had to go to this.
Transfer center.
Yeah. So I'm like, why do I gotta do all this stuff?
Actually, maybe my college didn't have that. I'm not sure.
Huh.
Anyway.
See, like, it's for
Also, gotta stay on top.
for Lion, like,
Mhm.
like the fact that they back to his topic, the fact that they had to cut off his like, his financial aid, like that's
Because the counselor had to put the.
because like, okay, what does it matter? You have a fuck up in a one semester,
Mm-hmm.
like that shouldn't affect your financial status. You can't pay for it. You should be supported by the government.
Well, the thing there that happened is that financial aid covers based on if you're a full-time student, part-time student, or not.
Exactly,
enough.
but
And
they
like
also take your
they
GPA.
thought he wasn't a full-time student.
I was a full.
No, but they all
No,
take your
but if they
GPA.
didn't, yeah, if they didn't put in like enough classes, you wouldn't have counted that. So that was
Yeah.
why.
See, because at this point, going into like the quote unquote third year
Mhm.
for me, the second semester of my second year, I paid for. I paid for that because it was like at that point I had already lost my financial aid,
Right.
and coming into the next one, I really did not want to get another loan.
Right. So you got a
Um,
loan to pay off the first one.
Yeah, but I was, I was prepared to do it, and I was most likely gonna end up taking out another loan to continue going to school. And after talking to this other counselor, he ended up finding that there was one class that actually didn't get put in, and that I was able to actually get my financial aid. And at this point, it was already so late, because I was like, during that summer, I was trying to get my financial aid back. I was
Mhm.
trying to figure out what was going on, like whatever, and it just took too long.
Right.
Took way too long. Even after he told me, oh, you could get it, and they
That's another
started.
thing. Everything has to be like on a schedule. You have to do things by deadlines.
Yeah.
That's another thing you don't really think about when you're in high school. Like all the deadlines.
I had a similar issue when I transferred over to university.
Uh-huh.
So that's what like I ended up paying about more than half my first semester
Mhm.
at university.
Uh-huh.
I did get refunded back, but then I still had to pay the next semester. So so they only cover a certain amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since
Uh-huh.
but like so like because of so many deadlines.
Really?
Yeah.
We should go over what kind of financial aids each of us actually got, because I got a different one than you guys.
Yeah. So, for whatever
But,
reason, I my financial aid didn't go through. I qualified it, but because I didn't write my name completely right.
You messed up the form.
Apparently I messed it up, so I just didn't add my second last name to it. So that made a big change.
Yeah, you gotta be careful about that.
So I didn't.
That is true.
So they told
Mine
me.
is like that too. I have a very long second last name, so I gotta
So
like,
they
make
told
sure
me.
it's all in there.
They told me we can't put your financial aid in the file because it doesn't match your name. It says your first, your middle, and your last name, but you have a second last name, and it's not in your. It's not in your application. So just change your name in the application.
See?
So I did that, right? And then, but the semester was already starting.
Yeah.
But if you want to be enrolled, you gotta pay for
Yeah.
a semester. You gotta pay for it. So I paid. They did. We set up a payment plan, which is $1,000 per every month.
Okay.
Because I could afford the whole thing. I was thinking of paying all $3,000, but the lady kept consisting. I'm saying, don't put it all down because I think you're only gonna have to end up paying $1,000.
Okay.
And the rest of financial aid covers it
Okay.
based on
So
the
it'll
file.
kick in.
Yeah. So like that will just refund you whatever. A month passed by, a second one passed by, and my name thing wasn't changing.
Right.
Wow.
And because of COVID, I couldn't go to the school and change it personally.
This is how long it took. It took until COVID.
So like, no, it was during COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so I ended up paying the full amount, which is like 3,500 something. I paid the full amount.
Yeah, that's about.
And then finally, like
In a
near
university.
December, my application goes through.
Okay.
And they sent me a message saying you're gonna get refunded.
Okay.
So they refunded me like more than half of it,
Nice.
which is fine. But they told me like maybe next semester it won't cover since your income is a little too overboard. I was
You
like,
work a lot.
I was like, okay, whatever. So the next semester I ended up paying 1,500. And it's like, okay, that's fine. So but like it was similar to that idea where like you meet the deadlines, but it's like they track you down.
I mean, you
so
gotta be
Yeah.
careful. You gotta stay on top of it, basically.
I was on top of it.
I mean, you made a mistake.
But like the fact
You
that
gotta be on top of it and way ahead of time.
I didn't have that issue in college though.
Yeah.
That's the issue. I didn't have it in college, and
Because you just didn't mess up the forms in college.
no, it was the same. That's how I transferred over
Exactly.
with my first, middle, and last name, not the second last name.
Yeah. You gotta like really stay on top of them, call them all the time, I guess.
Yeah.
Because like that's what I did. I would like constantly double check on them and stuff like that. Be like how's the progress on this, blah blah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would get like the counselor's email and like double check stuff and ask them.
Wow.
Like if too many weeks passed by, I would be like, hey, why isn't there any change on this or something?
Yeah,
like
that's what I was on too.
that. Yeah, I would do that too.
But like it was only happening because my application wasn't getting accepted because of COVID purposes, and COVID was delaying a lot of things.
Right. It was back then.
Yeah.
Specifically, that's a very specific time-specific issue.
Yeah,
But
but luckily I got refunded.
Lion was
though.
more of a
Just
just an issue with the counselor. They're making that mistake, and then you have
unfortunate event.
yeah, unfortunate. Really more unfortunate than else. Did you feel like you were on track to still want to do what you were doing? Either way, if it isn't for that unfortunate issue.
I feel like I kind of was losing track of things at that point, and I kind of just started losing motivation because of other outside factors.
Right, personal stuff.
Yeah.
Another thing is that when you get older, past high school, like a lot of other personal stuff really starts affecting you.
Yeah. So
You see, I got really lucky because I feel like if I was to ask for a loan too, I would feel really unmotivated. But I was very fortunate to have that money saved up, so like I didn't lose the motivation. It
Okay.
actually gave me more motivation because I'm like, I'm putting down my money on this. I gotta pass this shit.
yeah.
Pretty good.
So like,
So I like I was saying, what kind of financial aid did each of us get? Like you got you got a loan,
Well, I mean, I had normal financial aid that.
which was what?
What do you mean?
Like there's different types of financial aid. There's the type you gotta pay back, it's a loan.
I have three options.
Yeah.
So I have one loan of 3,000. I have another loan of 7,000,
Right.
and I get that covers 6,000.
Okay.
So the 6,000 is automatically processed. But the other two, I got either accept them.
And you get that 6,000 is because of your economic level, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously school is 3,400 per semester, 3,400 something. So I just gotta pay the rest.
Okay.
But they divide it into semesters.
Sure.
So they just put 3,000 in each semester, and I have to pay the
makes sense.
400 in each.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, so the kind of financial aid was also just because of low income financial aid, right?
I was just covered.
Yeah.
I was just covered, and I got more on top of it
What was that exactly?
because I was extremely poor.
Okay.
Yeah, I got money back in college.
Okay.
I would only get like
I got some money
a
back.
500, 600. And I would hear people get like 1,000 something for like twice a semester or things like that. And I was like, I'm already getting like 500, 600. Like, what the fuck?
I was getting that amount.
I was like, why am I not
A
getting
lot.
money back?
Well, I got a grant, mostly just because of good grades.
Mm,
So that covered me for 4 years, everything. And I
nice.
think I still got like a couple thousand each semester.
I got, yeah.
We all had to make our own way.
I just got, like I
I
said,
guess
got
it helped
by.
that I was equally as poor as you, but
Mhm.
qualified for less things.
See,
Mm.
my mom had like a government, not an actual government job, but it's like a job that technically goes by the government.
Sure.
And she was getting more than minimum wage.
Okay.
And since she was only maintaining me and my brother, which is only
Mhm.
3 people, it was surpassing the
Right, because they measure it not by the amount, but also per person.
yeah. So it was way more income than for 3 people.
Okay. So, I mean, what are we going with this? Overall, the aftermath. Do you feel like the expectations really messed you guys up, or not really?
Well, for me, at first it did,
Okay.
but I was lucky enough to go back just to give it another shot,
Okay.
and
Overall, happy with that?
I'm always happy with it.
Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. Lion, what about you?
I mean, my expectations wouldn't be able to mess me up anyway.
You okay.
I was kind of just normal about it.
Sure. And overall, happy about it, cause like
I think overall happy that I didn't go anymore
Okay.
because at the end of the day I was like, well, civil engineering wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. So I thought, well, I'll just work for a while.
Be a teacher.
Optics constant campaign trying to make us all teachers.
And eventually just go back, but there's just so much in between at that point that I just don't want to get into.
Right.
Yeah.
You're more focused on getting work experience and climbing that way at this point.
Sure.
If you want more information on our work history, you can go back to listen to our first podcast.
This would be more information on my own life history is what is holding me back.
Sure.
Actually.
Anyway, we don't have to get into that.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess same for me. I'm overall pretty good with what I did.
Mm.
I just get my shit done. I'm fine.
And
with
you
it.
made it.
And speaking of making it, a word from our first ever sponsor.
That's right. These days there's a lot of pressure to, improve your mental health, take more self-care, improve your fitness. Well, all that stuff is for losers. What you really need is new use line of cyber BBL procedures.
I've definitely been feeling like a loser lately, so I'm really looking forward to getting my first CBBL. And with the amount of options that they offer, I know I'll be satisfied.
That's right. Have you been struggling with schoolwork lately? Well, scrape out 60% of your brain and implant the new U brain module. Straight A's all the way.
Yeah. Or, are you struggling with your stamina during workouts? Try the new U stomach battery. Who needs food as fuel when you can use literal fuel to power your body?
Exactly. Or maybe you're having some trouble with the ladies with something very specific. So get the new U Jackhammer 3000s, now with variable RPM, new vibration settings, and aim assist, which is especially good for those sloppy nights. Go to newucorp.com and use our promotion code WSSM so you can get a 2-for-1 special.
You really don't want to miss out on this deal. And there's no limit on any procedures. Optic went in for 2 jackhammers.
So, considering that one of us is going to go on to be a teacher, what do you say you've learned from all of this, Optic?
Well, I feel like even though you're like the nicest person, you're the coolest person, not everyone's gonna like you. Like, you can't force someone to like you. If the kids vibe with you, give them positivity. If they don't vibe with you, doesn't mean to give them negativity, doesn't mean to ignore them. Just try to find a way around them.
Okay. when you have students, would you recommend for them to go to college and university?
I would recommend them to go to college.
Right, community college.
Community college,
Right.
not force them to be like, oh, get a major and a minor, like that. That's bullshit, That's a lot of bullshit. And I also tell them that, some of this might come out of your pocket.
Right.
And
Fair.
roll in with plenty of time. Don't do
Mhm.
things last minute. It just doesn't work out. Like, be patient. If
So not too patient. Stay on top of things.
stay on top of your things.
Pester all the people that are supposed to do this.
Obviously, try to manage time and work. I know
If
it
you're
might
working.
it might not be easy at first,
Right.
but find something that works for you.
Okay. Right.
But don't stress yourself with so many classes your first semester.
Okay. I would agree with all of that, except that I feel like students should go into after high school with some idea of what to major in or what.
No,
field
yeah,
they wanna
they
be
should
in.
know what they mean. I'm just saying not to have a major and a minor.
No, you don't have to worry about minors really
Just
at all.
just a major.
Yeah, but you should at least have an idea.
No, you should know.
Yeah.
I would say it doesn't matter if you don't know at all. You shouldn't be stressed to know after high school or even during high school what you want to do. Because that's what sets so many people up for failure. When they really don't know what to do, but they are so heavily pressured in, I have to know what to do when I'm going into college. Whatever the case, wherever it's coming from, whether it be teachers, parents, or counselors.
See, I feel like that's a contradiction there, because you're saying that they shouldn't have to go if they don't know. I agree. If they don't know what they want to do, maybe don't even go.
Yeah, don't
But
even
like you
go.
definitely should. If you have any idea or like aspiration, you should probably stress about figuring out what.
You shouldn't stress them.
I feel like you should.
I feel like you're probably more successful if you know what you want to do.
Exactly, and that's why in high school you should start thinking about what you want to do.
Yeah, you should start thinking.
And like I don't think it's impossible to say at least figure out what field. Like
Yeah,
I
'cause
figured
you have-
out pretty early on business, and that's just what I went for.
Yeah.
Optic always had like what you
I
call
studied
it, math ed.
Just math. First it was just math, and then once I got to university, it was turned into math ed.
Math ed,
they
right? I
split-
mean, you always kind of wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah, it's still the same thing, but
So yeah, so like you wanted to, and you've gotten there. I feel like it's important. Just figure it out then. It's not like you have to figure out this exact job. Like you gotta strive for that. But you should figure out like, do you want to be a teacher? Do you want to be in business? Do you want to be in medicine or anything like that? You can figure out at least that much by high school. I feel like, and strive for that.
High school's pretty useless though.
Not really.
yes, it is.
It's
Yes,
like
it is.
60% useless. Like I said, I'm just saying, probably figure out at least what you're gonna go into by starting college.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you need that much. If you go into it not knowing anything, like not even worry about like what pressure. That's another level of things. But like for yourself, you should figure that out for yourself.
Yeah. And if you don't want to go, you don't go.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't force yourself to go.
Although I would recommend at least do like a trade school for 2 years, something like that.
Just don't go.
No, don't go.
Really?
Not at all.
Not at all. Yeah.
Mm.
If you don't want to go, don't go.
Yep.
Don't force yourself to something you don't want to do.
Exactly.
I feel like that's what I'm saying. Like by high school, figure out like kind of something you want to do.
I think by high school you should know whether you want to go or not go,
Right.
and then if you're gonna go, know what you want to study.
Right.
Yeah. And if you're just not gonna go at all, just start figuring out, I don't know, what you're gonna do for work.
Another thing is also don't compare yourself to your siblings,
No, definitely not.
and don't force your parents to make you go.
Don't
I know
have
it's
siblings.
hard. It's hard to like
Don't force your parents.
No, don't have siblings.
like
That's my advice.
Uh-huh.
It works for me.
it's hard to like it's hard to go against your parents because your parents really want you to go to college.
Right.
But if you don't want to go and you don't know what to study, don't go. Find a different solution.
Yeah.
Mhm. But also, I feel like if you want to do something, like if you figure out what you want to do, it'll probably be something that you need at least some school for, to wanting to do. Even if it's something like, no, I just want to get like a normal job, like maybe like an electrician or maybe like sculpting or something like that. You can-
Electrician.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
need to go
electrical
to-
engineering.
Yeah.
That can be like a 2-year trade school. And you'll be like, yeah, I'll just do a 2-year trade school and I'll start working. Even
That's
if it,
true.
and so that's what I'm saying. Like that's also kind of college, basically.
It is.
whatever
Just do
you-
something
dude,
after high school.
Yeah, just figure
Just-
something.
just
out.
do
Just,
something.
just do something.
Do something, I guess.
You don't have to.
Don't put all your eggs into being an influencer. That's probably not gonna work for you.
Yeah.
If you are an influencer, you're making it.
Yeah,
Just suck up as much money you can.
if you're an influencer, you're probably not listening to this.
Yeah.
Just like get as much money as you can as fast as you can before you get ugly.
You get
That's
ugly.
true.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I guess so.
And speaking of enjoying your youth, don't forget to support our first ever sponsor, New Use Cyber BBL Procedures. Optic has really been living up to his name, dual wielding those jackhammers.
All right. Well, I need to go to sleep. We all need to go to sleep. Skull, Optic. It's time for bed.
Optic, when you're a teacher, show your students this.
Sure.
It's good advice. It's good for students to learn.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.